Hi, my name is Ewen Lavoie. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Alberta. I'm split between the Faculty of Kinesiology, Sport and Recreation and the Neuroscience and Mental Health Institute. My supervisor, Dr. Craig Chapman, and I are very excited to share this new publication from the Neuroscience of Consciousness. So virtual reality, if you've ever experienced it, you know how great it is. These new devices are able to deliver incredible sights and sounds, creating a wonderfully immersive experience. And sometimes we actually lose ourselves when we're in it. And that's what this study is all about. When we're in VR, how much do we really feel like we're in VR? Well, one of the things that can be changed is how our body looks. So that's what we wanted to study. We changed how people's bodies appeared in VR. We made their bodies have either just a replica of the controllers in front of them or a set of limbs. And we wanted to see if that changed how people moved when they were interacting with objects, and did it change how they feel? Well, what is this feeling of embodiment? It's the feeling of having a body and knowing that the body is yours. It's made up of three components. Ownership, which is the idea that, yeah, this body is mine. Location, the body is in the place that I feel like it should be. And agency, I feel like I have control over this body. And one thing that has been found is that we can manipulate embodiment by tricking the mind. And a really cool experiment that I encourage all of you to look up is the rubber hand illusion that was first done by Botvinnik and Cohen, where participants are made to feel as though a rubber hand that's in front of them is actually their hand. And this makes us think, well, virtual reality is a great tool to be studying embodiment, because you can give people any type of visual of their body and see how that affects them. So the questions we wanted to ask and answer were, does changing how our bodies look change how we move? Does changing how our bodies look change our feelings of embodiment? And does our feeling of embodiment correlate at all with the way that we move? So we designed this experiment. We had participants do 20 trials of the exact same task in VR under two different conditions. And then we recorded the position and orientation of the controllers that they held in their hand when they picked up a box. After each condition, we had participants do an embodiment survey, ranking their agreement level on from strongly disagree to strongly agree on a 7-point scale. And so I'm going to show two quick videos of participants doing the task. So this is the first condition, and participants are holding plastic controllers and they're just moving this pasta box. And what they see is a replica of the controllers that they have in their hand. And in the second condition, participants are still holding plastic controllers, but what they see in front of them is a set of dynamic limbs. So I should emphasize that the interaction mechanism was exactly the same. To pick up the box, participants just had to press the trigger on the controller they were holding. Well, what did we find? We found that when participants are holding the controllers, they just stick the controller into the box and press the trigger and they can move the box. Well, when they see the virtual limbs, participants actually wanted to make those limbs form around the box in a plausible grasping pattern, and they actually twisted and torqued the controller to make the hand do that. So how our body looks changes how we move in VR. The second question we wanted to ask was, does this change embodiment, seeing controllers or arms? Well, the answer is yes. So if we look at the ownership scale here, participants ranked ownership much higher when they see a set of virtual arms instead of virtual controllers. So how our body looks changes how we feel about our body in VR. We have higher levels of ownership. And the kicker to this is that we found a correlation between how people moved and their feelings of ownership. And I should just show you that over here, we have the difference between rating of ownership between the two conditions and a difference in how people moved. And we can show with a correlation of about 0.5 that the more you move differently, the higher you rated ownership over that virtual body. So the more you change how you move, the more embodied you feel in VR. Well, what is the significance of this? This sheds some light on how embodiment impacts consciousness. And it'll help us and future scientists and developers make virtual a little more real to improve the efficacy of VR tools in healthcare, education, skill training, and entertainment. Thank you very much. And this wouldn't be possible without all the help from everybody and these organizations on this slide.